Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a frozen needle build guide in Elden Ring. So this is a fun weapon because it deals frostbite damage as well as it hits pretty hard. So with this weapon, typically you want to be using a shield with it because then you can hide behind your shield and be able to proc the frostbite there. So at level 150 we're going with 50 vigor, and if you're at a lower level I'll talk about where you put your stats. So 24 mind, 28 endurance, 16 strength, which allows us to equip the brass shield here, which does have a bit of a higher strength requirement, but it blocks a bit different damage, so it is a pretty useful one to go with. I went with 75 dexterity, which is further boosted by the Millicent's prosthesis, so that gives us a +5. It'd regularly be 70. I went 15 arcane or 15 faith, 16 arcane. You want to have at least 56 poise and a medium roll, so whatever armor allows you to get that. And then again, I use the brass shield in the offhand. And this is the talisman, the Broad Wing Sword Insignia, Green Turtle Talisman, Millicent's Prosthesis. Although if you don't have one of these, you can go with another choice. Like any of these talisman are great for more health or more stamina because you're going to use stamina being able to block. So that can be another choice. But this weapon attacks really fast, so it's actually good to go with these talisman if you can get them. Now what this looks like, if you don't shield, you can attack 3 times in a row really quickly. But if you shield, it does attack a little bit slower. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind is when you're blocking, you will attack slower, but you will be able to block damage. So that's another nice benefit of it. And another thing, this has Impaling Thrust and you can't change it. But Impaling Thrust is pretty good because it'll close the distance between enemies really quick and easy. So you can then get in and do your attacks and then trigger the Frostbite, which will do further damage. So this is actually a really fun weapon to use, and boosted by Flame Grant Me Strength is a good choice. And then if you really want to, you can also put on the Weight Mask and then boost your damage with the Swarm of Flies here. So starting off combat like that, and then you go in after the Blood Loss is triggered and try to trigger the Frostbite attack there. So yeah, the nice thing about this is you can pretty much interrupt a lot of enemies' attacks while keeping yourself safe because the shield will prevent you from taking damage. So that's why we wanted to go with 56 poise there, because that's kind of the ideal number to shoot for. Again, you do attack a little slower when the shield is up, but it's a worthwhile trade-off if you deal this much damage. And then you can power yourself up. We're going to attack there. You can power yourself up, and you can see we attack really quickly there with the weapon when we don't have our shield up. So it's kind of a game of block and then put your shield down and attack. So you can get up in the enemy's face, attack, put your shield back up, and defend. So nice little mixture there, but there are some other strategies that we can apply. So again, if you want to go with a blood loss build up, you can further boost this damage by applying 2 different things there. And also you could even use another weapon in the offhand that doesn't require much investment. So something like the Reduvia, which is going to scale off our dexterity as well. So this is another weapon we can add into the mix if you want to throw on something like the Weight Mask. And then I'll show you how high the damage can get with this. So if we go with the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, we can further boost our damage. So this will get 30% more damage after we trigger a Blood Loss buildup. So if we go with our Flame Grant Me Strength and then trigger the Swarm of Flies here, we can also bring out the this here, the Reduvia, which is a good weapon. But now we got a 30% boost for damage. Oops. So we deal a ton more damage, 700, and this takes them out on 2 attacks instead of 3. So it is a pretty good boost to our damage. So you can see here, 700 damage. It's way harder with that boost from, we get a 30% damage boost with both the Weight Mask and Lord of Blood's Exaltation. So it's a pretty good pairing because both of these weapons are dexterity based. You can also go with like a Yuji Katana and then put Blood Loss build up further on it with the Blood Flame Blade. So that's another way we can go about increasing our overall damage. So if you don't want to go with the Reduvia, most people are going to have the Yuji Katana. It's a really easy weapon to get, so you can go with that. And even just the Keen one, and if you put out like the Seppuku on it, that's going to also trigger the Blood Loss build up, so we don't even have to attack with it. And then you have that as your backup, so you can then bring out this weapon, start with your Swarm of Flies, and then block and attack, and you got Blood Loss buildup and Frostbite. So it's a really good pairing, both these weapons together. And yeah, this is a fun weapon to use because you have to be strategic with when you want to block and when you just want to attack with the weapon, because you can attack a lot faster this way, but you also are safe with the shield up. So a couple different ways you can go about this. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video.